Hey folks, how are you? Well, just so people know, because I've been getting a lot of questions, I've answered them quite frequently in the past couple of days in terms of what Alexandro Bernabei has to offer Celtic. You have to break it down in different aspects here. First of all, you have to see what Celtic need. And when you have a left back in the market and you bring him in, he has to be able to fulfill needs. I'm not saying anything revolutionary. I'm not saying anything that you're going to be mind blown over. You're going to be getting a player that can press high, that can pressure when the opposing team is coming out of the back, that can play out of the back if need be, that is going to stay up higher than normal. Now, that's a good thing and a bad thing depending on how he's positioned and depending on how the other team attacks. But it is one of the things, one of the staples, one of the pillars of Ange ball. Let's keep that completely and utterly in the mainstay, in the main focus of everything that we're talking about here. Bernabei can play out wide. Bernabei can move into the channels. Bernabei can make those internal runs that sometimes are necessary for fullbacks in this day and age. Can he play as a right back? Yes, he can. I'm not saying that he should. I'm not saying that that's the position where he has to be playing consistently, but it is a position that he can play in the event that Ange Postecoglou decides to invert fullbacks. He can do that as well. He can play as a wing even, which is always an interesting proposition when you have a player of that ilk, of that capability. That, I wouldn't be surprised if I see him a couple of times playing at the wing, to be quite honest with you. He's a young player. He's much. He still needs to mature a little bit more. He still needs to develop. At 21, if I were to tell you, you know what, he is a very complete player. He is a finished product. I'd be lying to you. I would completely be lying to you if I tell you that he's a great left back. I'd be lying to you. He still has a lot of potential, but yet he still has to grow, and he still has to grow into what he can do as a footballer. To be quite honest with you, that's not a bad proposition going into Celtic because he might have the ideal coach to be able to guide him in that particular situation. So let's keep all of those things in mind when we're talking about this player. What else am I missing? I am. I mean, he's perfect for Ange. Ange is perfect for him. And where you can really start to see a big differences in his pace. He can offer a great deal of pace. He can offer a great deal of quicker play if need be. So it's an exciting proposition. Now, am I going to say that he's going to be the best left back in the world? No. Can he be a world beater? I would say he'd be a very good contributor. You see, the thing is, in this day and age, in South American football, I can't go in and start saying this is going to be the next big thing. This is going to be the next big player. Very few, very few now can be given that particular title. Very few can go and say, you know what, this is a player that can change a team. This is a player that can really make a difference. This is a player that is going to come and just absolutely rock your world. He's a very exciting player. Let's leave it at that. It's not me trying to say negative things about him. I'm not. I quite the opposite. I really rate him highly. I just believe that he needs more time to be able to grow into the position that he's being asked to play in, especially at a club where he's going to be in a bit of a microscope. Not saying that Lanús, he never was in a microscope. It's just that the microscope gets a little bit bigger and a bit stronger and a bit more focused on what he's able to do. Yes, he's played in Argentina. He understands what he's going into. He's seen it because he's seen Boca, he's seen River, he's seen many of those players and many of those teams and how they have to behave and how they are treated within media in Argentina. Maybe just as much or even worse than Celtic. I'm just saying. And again, I don't want to get into those comparisons because those comparisons can be a bit odious. But when you start looking at it from that perspective, there's pressure. Whether if it's more, if it's less, regardless, there's going to be that pressure. So that's exactly what I wanted to go and truly emphasize when I'm saying this. So to summarize, Alexandro Bernabei is a very interesting proposition. I really think that Celtic fans will like him. I hope the best for him. I hope that he's able to really grow into his own. And why not? Leave some money in the coffers in the end if he does get transferred. Because if he does very well, do not be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, if he does end up going to a bigger club in Europe. Because that ends up being the big business for not just only Celtic, but also Lanús. Make sure you subscribe, folks. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you put the thumbs up. Make sure you do everything you have to do. All right? Talk to you later. Ciao.